Hey guys, well, we're getting ready to start chapter 6. I've actually now had Lincoln. He's here with me now. Ryan, I heard that you were not a fan of the videos, so I decided to up my game and just come to school so I'd have my whole board. Real quick, let me show you a link. He's over here. Here he is. He's 2 weeks old today. So, okay. So, here we go. At this point, we have finished limits, we have finished derivatives, and now we're moving on to the last major thing, which is integrals. So to start with today, we're going to be handing out this pink piece of paper, and it's got all of the derivatives that you're supposed to know already, and then on top of that, the new integrals that you need to know. And it's a nice little chart. That's why I copied it on hot pink paper, so you can't lose it, so make sure you put it in your binder and keep it safe. But it does need to be spoken about. I have a couple things I want you to adjust. There's also a few numbers on here that you don't need to worry about, okay? So first thing, take out your neon sheet of paper, and what I want you to realize is that the left-hand column are the derivatives that you should already know, and the right-hand column are the integrals that you do not know. The first thing, over here you can see we have the derivative of x is 1. We have the derivative of sine is cosine, and so on. I want you to cross off number 2. You don't need to do that. And then on number 4, we don't typically write it this way with the negative in front of the cosine. So please, on your sheet right now, get rid of the negative here and rewrite it as the derivative of cosine equals the opposite of sine. So I did that in orange for you so that you can go through and fix the ones that need to be fixed. I'm going to give you a second to do that. You'll have to fix number 6 as well. Remember, our little trick to remember this was if it starts with a C, the answer is negative, right? Okay, so basically you're going 1 through 6, you're skipping number 2, and you're adjusting 4 and 6. Okay, continuing with the same statements, if you come over here, I'm just going to pick this up and move it. 7 and 8, you definitely need to know. 8, I need you to adjust the negative sign as well. 9 and 11, you need to know. Everything else you can skip. Okay, so right now we're just talking about the derivatives that you already know. Okay, so now moving back, let's start to talk about the integrals. Okay, so basically this chart is really helpful, and I'm hoping you see how they correlate. Maybe you might not see this one as well, so let me skip that for a second. But you can see the derivative of sine is cosine, so the integral of cosine, see the answer, the integral of cosine is sine. Okay? What you'll notice with the integrals, and again, we're going to get into this in section 6.2, everything with your integrals is always going to end in a plus c, which is a plus a constant, which I'll explain when we get to that. But for now, we're just kind of deciphering how to read this thing and what I need you to adjust with that. You won't need to adjust anything with the integrals. Okay, so just start to look at the trends right now. Notice with the next one, the derivative of cosine is the opposite of sine, so the integral of sine is the opposite of cosine. See how that's working? Look at these again. Look at how the answers are switching places. Okay? Also, like we said over here, the derivative of anything that starts with a C is negative. Well, now, what can we say over here? The integral, right, if the answer starts with a C, it's negative. You can see that here. So it's not what you're taking the integral of, but if the answer starts with a C, then it will be a negative. And you can, if again I walk you over to this, you can see, if we look at these integrals, see how this answer is negative, so that's why, or it starts with a C, so it's negative. Okay? So just start to notice how to read this table. As far as number 1, I did skip over it for a second, but the derivative of x is 1. Well, the integral of a constant would be x plus c, and you can still kind of see that switching of things. So we'll talk about this more in 6.1, but for now, let's just get that started, and then please take out your packet.